ideal theater looks like a theater that includes everybody, celebrates everybody, and celebrates the mixture of everybody.
Ooh, my ideal theater looks like somewhere where, one, everyone is like super safe and supported. Two, there's like, so much accountability. Accountability everywhere. Three, really the theater should, in my mind, exist to provide opportunities for people coming up, people who've been there a while, like just as like many opportunities for people as possible. Yeah.
I think my ideal theater has diversity,
inclusivity,
diversity in people, diversity in humor, diversity in opinions.
A place where I can share ideas. I don't always have to be listened to, but I really love to be heard.
Would be one that is open, both in terms of the way that people communicate and the way that it operates, being transparent.
Inclusion, I want diversity, I want gender parity.
The more people you allow tell their stories, the more of a full range you'll be able to deliver to an audience.
Diversity on the front and the back lines. I think that's really important because I feel like a lot of times we want to focus our people of color right at the front so everyone sees them. But that's not how we get actual change. That's not how we get stories that are really important and that need to be heard, and without the stories getting whitewashed or stereotyped. So we need people on the back lines, in crew, in casting.
Accurate, honest reflection of the community that it's based out of.
A space where it doesn't feel like on stage I'm worried for anyone, and like where I feel like the audience is taken care of.
My ideal theater looks like a place where I think everyone feels welcome, not just I think on stage but also in the audience. I feel like there's often like a really big divide, especially when you get into more professional theater, between the people who are on stage and the audience, and I feel like closing that gap a little bit, even in terms of like representation, so the people who are in the audience can like see themselves represented on stage, I think is really important.
People who look like me to be on stage.
So when you're on that stage and you got like this whole theater of people like, you know, crying, like when you hear it and you feel that laughter in your chest, man, there's no greater feeling.
When I first got into improv in Vancouver, it was because I have a background in theater and I'd recently come out as non-binary, and I was kind of like, well, shit, like I want to perform, but it's like very, very rare that a part is like genuinely open to all genders.
Improv has allowed me to feel that I can contribute to my culture in a different way.
Playing with people who bring out your differences and like play with that and have fun with that and can laugh at themselves and be like, yeah, I don't know what that is, or like, whoa, that's different, that's cool.
It's actually now okay for me to say, no, there should be more people like me.
I know for me, especially being like brown and being a Muslim, creativity and going into performing arts wasn't my parents' first choice for me. Isn't even my parents' like 8th choice for me.
I think the more welcoming a space is, and the more effort maybe more prominent members of a space put into making sure that anyone who's new, who's maybe standing in a corner, not fully comfortable in that space, actions that make that person feel welcome and feel more comfortable, knowing that they belong, even if they're new or even if they feel maybe that they don't fit in. Anything that contributes to that, I think, is a meaningful action.
And a sense of belonging when you're part of it and welcoming when you're not.
And maybe like the best way to put it is to be like extra courteous, because if you're extra courteous, then you're gonna ask, hey, are you okay with this? And you're not gonna assume. And I think that that's all it takes, and that builds trust.
Improv is all about trust, both on stage and off.
Communication.
Communication is key with any kind of relationship.
Communication's important. Openness. I like welcoming environments. Welcoming. Openness.
Openness.
I really love the opportunity with people who are excited about playing with like what gender means on stage and what it means to be making up the rules as we go, and how we can maybe tackle things that are harder to do in like a different form of comedy.
I love bringing joy to other people. I love inspiring, especially other women, to be weird and crazy and kooky, stick out my belly.
I think
think improv makes me feel free, and I think improv also makes me feel validated.
I think offering classes, offering special nights for people of color to come together, especially in like such a whitewashed community, having people of color come together and be able to empower each other, that's something, I think empowerment is one of the biggest things for any improv company, is being able to, or any theater company, is to be able to have those people feel like those stories can be told.
You should be willing to be ugly, and by that I mean you should be willing to listen when someone tells you that you are being ugly, whether that's personal or whatever you're doing. You should accept that you're a whole person, and that means parts of you aren't great, and that's actually fine if you deal with it when those parts come out, you know?
You don't want anyone to ever feel weird about coming forward with like something that happened, or like being like weird about talking to people and stuff like that. You just want everyone to be like, yeah, okay, we know these are the rules we're operating by, and here are like the resources I can access and stuff like that. So.
And I think that it becomes awareness that the experiences that we share as people might be very different from each other, and to be sensitive towards that.
I think there should be accountability as well within leadership and within players and even crew and people who just run the building and stuff like that, all across the board. Like you need accountability, you need like a standard of ethics and behavior, all that stuff.
Maybe this is more relevant to like on-stage stuff, but I really appreciate performers who are very supportive towards me, and especially like performers that I see that are really supportive to like newer people.
I love getting to be in shows where I feel like I don't have to ask the host to do a land acknowledgement, where they're just doing that, and where people, where I really like when I don't have to be the one to say like, hey, can we please like introduce our pronouns?
Communication is so key, and also being able to unlearn and learn things along the way.
My ideal theater looks like a theater that includes everybody, celebrates everybody, and celebrates the mixture of everybody.